All right, students, let's go ahead and talk about how to find some interviewees for your Essay 3 project. So there are several groups of people who are off limits for this project. The purpose of the project is to network and find new people to talk to and learn how to present yourself professionally. So there are some people that you cannot talk to. You may not talk to people you're related to. So no relatives for this assignment. Don't talk to family friends. So if dad's best buddy is in the career that you want to be in, I'm sorry, you can't talk to that person because you have a long-term relationship with them. And finally, you may not talk to your advisors. Your advisors are not going to work very well for this project, and you may not talk to them to write this paper. So these are the people you can't talk to. If you have any questions about somebody that you can talk to, please send me an email. Describe who that person is and let me know why you want to talk to them. Otherwise, these are the people you can't talk to. So here are some recommendations about finding people to talk to. Go on social media. I've had many students use social media to find people to talk to for this project. A lot of students will just log into Facebook and go into the search bar up at the top and type something in like Murfreesboro personal trainer, and gyms will come up, individuals will come up, that sort of thing. You just jump on social media, find that person, and then shoot them a message and explain what you're trying to do. You can paste your inquiry email right into that message box, and you'd be surprised. People will get back to you. You can cold call people. So again, if you can jump on the internet, go to Google, and you want to talk to an ER nurse, you can Google emergency rooms in Middle Tennessee and find an emergency room number to call or an email address for an emergency room, and you can send them a message and tell them what you're interested in talking to them about. You may talk to your professors. Many of your professors worked for many years in the fields that you're interested in going into. So if you're taking some kind of introductory course, like an intro to psychology class or an intro to aerospace class or something like that, there's a real likelihood that your professor for that particular class did that job for many, many years before they became a professor, and you can talk to them about it. You can visit the website Career Shift. There is a link to this website in this exact same module. I'm going to show you what that website looks like here in just a minute. And then finally, you can talk to friends of friends. So let's say you're a nursing major and your aunt is a nurse. You're not allowed to talk to your aunt, but you can definitely talk to your aunt's friend. So that's completely okay for this project. So real quick, I want to show you what Career Shift is. And even if you don't use Career Shift for this particular project, I do recommend that you go ahead and sign up for your account. Like I said, just use the link on the module. And then you can search Career Shift for whatever you want. So contacts, I'm going to say search contacts. And what I want to do is, let's say I want to work for Amazon, and I can pick a particular industry through Amazon that I'm interested in. I can look for the last time that particular name was updated, and I can hit search. And all of these people work specifically for Amazon, and I have this person, Doug Gurr's email address, I have his phone number, I have his LinkedIn profile, and then I can look at his details. So all of the people that are included in Career Shift have their information posted online somewhere, and then Career Shift collects that information and posts it into their database. And you can find all these different kinds of people that you want to look into. I've had a lot of students use Career Shift to find people to talk to. So let's say I'm interested in becoming a human resources manager. I can hit search, and then all of these people here This is the CFO of Thumbtack, and I have his information right here, and I can send him an email and tell him that I'm interested in talking to them about whatever I'm interested in. So we wrote the inquiry email already. You've gotten your feedback on your inquiry email, and now you can simply email any of these people that you're interested in talking to. So it's easy enough to figure out if you're going to be an engineer. These are all engineers. And you can, this is a managing director, um, that sort of thing. So you can find lots and lots of people on Career Shift with public information that you can contact them very, very easily. And again, like I said, I've had tons of students find contacts this way. So let's talk about some methods. All right, there's a few different ways that you can interview somebody. Of course, during the pandemic, I don't recommend face-to-face interviews. However, there are lots of methods that aren't face-to-face, including phone, email, text, or messenger, and video chat. So if you want a phone interview with somebody, there's pros and cons to all of these methods. So phone interviewing is great because it's live talk and you have live reactions and you can record a phone interview. Just remember, if you are recording an interview, make sure that you tell them that you're recording the interview. Some of the cons that go along with phone interviews are that it takes they have less time to think of a response to your question. You do have to schedule a phone interview, and there's no transcript, so there's no written record of your phone interview. It's been recorded auditorily, but it is not transcripted. Email interviews also have pros and cons. One of the pros of an email interview is the transcript. They also have more time to respond to your questions, so you can ask your questions and they can think about it for a couple of days. Email interviews also don't have to be scheduled, so if the person that you're talking to is a very busy person, they can respond to you whenever they have time. Some of the cons that go with an email interview is that the person may not answer your questions completely. So you do want to make sure that you're asking very, very good questions that will elicit stronger responses. You do have to wait for a response to your email interview. And then there's also no emotional reaction. So it's just straight text. You don't hear any sort of inflection or anything like that in an email. Text and messenger interviews, they have a lot of pros and cons as well. One of the pros, just like email, is that you do have a transcript of the interview. You can get more of an emotional reaction in a text or messenger, and you can have an ongoing conversation with that person as well. It's a lot more back and forth exchange. Like on the phone, it's just written. Some of the cons of text or messenger interviews is that some things get lost in translation, and we've all had this happen when we've been texting our friends. Somebody says something and we take it the wrong way because we don't hear it the way they intend to say it. And then some of the cons may be that we have to wait for responses as well. So just like with the emails, sometimes it'll take a minute for people to get back to you. Finally, video chatting is another completely okay way to complete this process. Video chats are recordable and they are more personal because you can actually see each other and you do get real emotional reactions. I do recommend, of course, if you are going to video chat with somebody, that you consider your audience. Make sure that you look professional, that you're prepared for your interview ahead of time, so that you can feel like you're having that professional face-to-face conversation. Some of the cons that come with a video chat are that they have to be scheduled, just like a phone interview. You don't have a transcript, just like a phone interview, and you need to make sure that your technology works. So I do recommend that you use your video chat function a couple of times before your actual interview. And if the technology does not work, you probably need to think of some kind of alternative. So these are all the different methods that you can use for your interviews. These are all the different places where you can go to find interviewees. So again, make sure that you're checking all of these different ones out. I recommend that you try a couple of different ones. Here are some recommendations that I have for you in this process. Start looking for people immediately. So jump on your social media. Um, Again, you will all be very surprised at who will actually respond to you. I've had students get internships, I've had students get jobs, I've had students talk to famous people. The worst somebody can say is no. So submit inquiries to anybody that you want. And if you hear back, great. And if you don't, move on. I recommend that you submit 10 or more inquiries. You have a very limited amount of time for this project, so you need to submit as many inquiries as you can in order to make sure that you have feedback in time to complete the project. If you get more than one yes, you have a couple of options. You can interview everybody and pick the best one, or you can tactfully respond, "I really appreciate you getting back to me. Um, However, I have found somebody else to interview for this project," and very very nicely say thanks but no thanks. Don't simply ghost a person who says that they're interested in talking to you. Don't include your interview questions in the initial inquiry email. That can overwhelm the people that you're trying to talk to. And then finally, limit the number of questions in your interview to 10 or fewer. You need to think about the amount of time you're taking from somebody to complete this project. Your interview should take place over 20 to 30 minutes. You need to limit your number of questions in order to fulfill that timeline. So keep that in mind as well.